pretty good defensive performance, especially when our guys finally believed that Keeling was a really good player. It took them a while to understand that, but once we got that figured out, I thought we really did a lot of good things. We kept them from making penetrating pitch scores. They obviously only had 2 assisted baskets. I thought that was a big key in the game. I thought our defense in the second half and the way we played in the second half was just much better. I thought Eli was great in the first half. Thought he really was ready to play and had good opportunities to finish in there on some advantage situations. And I thought his defense around the rim was excellent on some pick and roll stuff. I thought Shelton had a very solid game for us. Just looked like a senior guard out there distributing the ball and making good decisions and plays against a lot of pressure. They're a different type of team to play against. I wasn't 100% sure of everything they were going to do, so we kind of had to make some adjustments on the fly. I thought we did that and did better in our press offense. And then you just deal with a lot. Zone underneath, 1-3-1, and some run and jump, and 1-2-2, and just a lot of different things that they throw at your team that it kind of takes a while to kind of get it all organized. And I thought we got better the longer the game went, and pleased to finish the game the right way.
Coach, was this really the kind of momentum that you needed going into the South Carolina game?
Yeah, I mean, we just, it's just different without having Marquise out there. And so you can see we've got guys out there that are, playing a lot of minutes that haven't maybe played a lot of minutes. Even Clyde Trapp's out there a lot, so I think we need, it's been good to have some good things happen for us. We need to continue to push through and improve. Those guys need to get game action and get some game experience. And, then we've got good clips of good things to show them and teaching things to show them. So, it's been a good, last week. I think we're starting to improve in some areas, and hopefully that continues.
Is it far-fetched to think that second half, even without Marquise, was the best half of basketball y'all played this year?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think we played very well in some other games. I know we played pretty well against Georgia, for 40 minutes. I thought we played 32 really good minutes against Akron, and had them down a good bit and let them come back. So we've had some times when we've played good stretches. Obviously the turnovers tonight were a problem. We just that was that's got me a little upset with some things, but I thought by and large we approached the game the right way. We were ready to play, handled most things. Again, we didn't make shots in the first half, so you can break the press, you can get all these open threes, and you go 0 for 7 or 0 for 8, whatever we went, and it's hard to pull away. If you don't make threes, it's hard to pull away from teams, and so that's about what we should have, was an 8-point lead without making any threes, and Keeling making 4 or 5. So, fairly solid performance, just a few too many turnovers.
What's the latest on Marquise, and will he be available for Saturday?
I don't know yet. I would say doubtful, but he is running now on the Ultra G, and he's starting to run just about with full weight, I think. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't really know. He's made a lot of progress in the last couple of days.
Brad, going back to the start of the second half, Amir came out and he scored all those points in the first 3.5 minutes there. Was that the key to you guys taking on?
Yeah, I think it just helps. I mean, obviously, you make back-to-back threes and an 8-point lead becomes 14, and you got a little breathing room, and just it gets the crowd into the game too. Like when you don't make threes, I mean, dunks and threes are what get the crowd going. And we didn't really have the threes. Maybe we had a dunk or two in the first half. I don't really know. And you make back-to-back threes, now the crowd kind of jumps into the game. They obviously call a timeout. You come out feeling a little bit better about yourself. That was significant just to kind of give us a shot in the arm.
He had that scoreless first half in the last game after his career-high 23 points against Mississippi State. Is it good to see him get a little bit of consistency going offensively?
Yeah, I hope so. He and David need to continue to be consistently good players for us, especially with Marquise out. I mean, they're the most experienced guys, and I know he only started maybe 10 games last year or something like that, but that's more than all these other guys, the freshmen and Clyde. And so, we're a little thin. We just don't have that many perimeter players right now with AJ leaving and now Marquise hurt. you know, we really kind of are thin at the guard spot. And so, yeah, absolutely. That means David Scarr needs to do a little bit more. You know, he didn't do as much tonight. He made a couple good passes, had a couple bad ones. I would have thought he would have maybe had a couple more plays out there to make. That I would really encourage him. I'm going to watch the film to see, like, why didn't he have a couple more plays? I know there was one play I'm thinking of in my head where I thought he could have drove it right away and gotten in there and made a play and scored or got fouled. And I just want to see if there's a couple more situations where we got to encourage him to be aggressive.
Fred, Eli was in here telling us that he feels fine, he feels terrific. Is he healthier?
It's funny that he said that because on the way back from the game to the locker room, he's got the doctors and he's walking there showing him his leg and he's talking to him, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're not going to be hurt. You've already had your one deal. And so it's funny that he comes back here and says everything's fine. He was talking to the doctors complaining about something. So, but he's been good the last 2 weeks. I mean, he really has. And I think I said 2 weeks ago at one point that Eli just needs practice time. He just hasn't had it for the first 3 weeks, you know, much of the first 3 weeks we were playing. And he looked rusty and he looked a little heavy and a little out of shape, just not quite in rhythm. And now that he's been practicing for 2 weeks, he's in a much better place and he's playing good basketball.
Coach, your thoughts on passing Bill Foster for second most wins at Clemson?
You know, obviously it's the result of a lot of good players and good assistant coaches and people supporting me, and so I'm, you know, very appreciative of all those folks. It's nice to be mentioned in the company of a person like Bill Foster. He was not only a very good basketball coach, but he was a tremendous person from everything I've heard about him and his time here. So to be mentioned with him and anything like that is certainly significant, something that you would always be proud of.
All right, going back to Clyde's play tonight, with Marquise being out, all the time he's getting, how important is it for him to take his time and develop?
It is. I think it's real important, and there's a lot of learning situations out there because he's kind of bouncing back between playing some 2 and playing some 1, and you know, he's figured, how much do I try to score and when do I try to be a distributor, and he's kind of every once in a while you can almost see him, you know, trying to figure that part of it out. You know, he had some good moments tonight. I thought there were a couple of good moments where he really made some good plays and down and made a couple of good passes and got in the paint. And then there's probably 3 or 4 plays when I'm scratching my head like I don't understand what he's doing. Like he's too good a player to be in those situations. And that's, you know, that's coaching. We've got to get with him. We've got to show him on tape. And we just got to give him a little more experience. But I think it's been great for him.
Any more questions?
Everybody good?
Thank you, Coach.